Welcome to the Last Humans recap, where I give you a whirlwind tour of the first 49 chapters to get you up to speed on the story so far. In chapters 1 through 6, the stage is set for a tense and complex narrative, where humanity struggles to survive and reclaim its place in a galaxy that once sought to exterminate it. Chapter 1. The story begins aboard the starship Veritas, commanded by Captain Alar and his second-in-command, Thera. For 1,000 years, the Veritans have been hunting the remnants of humanity across the galaxy, following the Galactic Council's decree to exterminate the human race due to their perceived danger to galactic stability. Despite the initial success in the human extermination campaign, rumors persist that some humans survived. The Veritans embarks on a mission guided by an ancient celestial map to find and eliminate these last survivors. At the same time, on the human ship Ulysses, the remnants of humanity are revealed to have evaded the Council's grasp, planning a secretive and desperate escape to uncharted regions of the galaxy, far from the eyes of the Council and the Veritans. Chapter 2. The Veritans encounters the Ulysses in deep space, reigniting the conflict between the two races. Despite orders from his crew to attack immediately, Captain Alar opens a communication channel with the human ship. The human captain proposes a truce and pleads for humanity's reintegration into the galactic community. Alar, struggling with the morality of his mission, ultimately orders an attack on the Ulysses. However, the humans reveal a surprising level of technological advancement, disabling the Veritas and leaving it incapacitated. The humans then deliver a bold message. They are no longer the primitive species that was once hunted, and they demand a retrial by the Galactic Council. Chapter 3. Back on New Terra, the human leadership, including Admiral Jonathan Pierce, General Lena Roswell, and Fleet Engineer Nikolai Rostov, convene to strategize their next steps. Humanity has evolved and thrived in secret, developing advanced technology and a sophisticated society. They are prepared to defend themselves and seek recognition as equals in the galactic community. Meanwhile, covert operatives embedded within the Galactic Council continue to feed information back to humanity, allowing them to stay ahead of the Council's plans. The leaders of New Terra are determined to negotiate from a position of strength, ready to show the galaxy that humanity is a force to be reckoned with. Chapter 4. The Veritas, now limping back to the Galactic Council's headquarters on Zeta Prime, carries the humans' message. Captain Varro, leading the ship in Alar's absence, presents the Council with evidence of humanity's survival and their plea for reintegration. The Council is divided, with some members viewing the humans as a threat, while others see their evolution as a sign of potential. The revelation of humanity's advancements causes a stir, and the Council debates the merits of granting humanity a second chance. The tension is palpable as the Council grapples with the decision, aware that the wrong choice could lead to widespread conflict. Chapter 5. On New Terra, as preparations for the Council's visit to humanity's new homeworld intensify, a human spy network continues to manipulate information within the Galactic Council, ensuring that the Council remains divided. Meanwhile, Captain Alar and his crew on the Veritas prepare for their return to Zeta Prime, burdened with the knowledge that their mission has failed. As the Council's peace delegation prepares to visit New Terra, the humans ready themselves for a critical inspection, knowing that the outcome could determine their fate. The stakes are high as both sides prepare for a confrontation that could either solidify peace or spark a devastating war. Chapter 6. The Resurgence, carrying the human delegation, begins its FTL journey to Terra Nova, unaware that a Veritan stealth craft led by Thera has secretly attached itself to their ship to gather intelligence. During the journey, the Galactic Council delegates are impressed by humanity's technological advancements and societal evolution, showcased by Ambassador Selene. However, doubts linger among the delegates about the authenticity of this transformation. Upon arriving at Terra Nova, the hidden Veritan craft continues to monitor the humans, adding tension as the upcoming trial will determine if humanity's progress is enough to secure their place in the galactic community. In chapters 7 through 12, the intricate web of interstellar politics, espionage, and rising tensions between humanity and the Veritas unfolds, pushing both civilizations to the brink of war. Chapter 7. As the human ship Resurgence arrives at New Terra, a Veritan stealth vessel covertly attempts to infiltrate their ranks. The Veritan agents, Kryn and Kren, manage to plant a bomb on the Resurgence, but are captured by human forces. The bomb is disarmed, and the Veritans are exposed, adding fuel to the already tense relationship between the two species. Meanwhile, the Galactic Council agrees to meet with humanity to reconsider their position, and the Resurgence sets off for this critical diplomatic engagement. Chapter 8. The Resurgence reaches the Galactic Council's seat at Zeta Prime, where the humans are formally recognized as members of the Council after a tense negotiation. Ambassador Solane and his delegation present evidence of humanity's progress, and the Council lifts the extermination order against humanity. However, during the ceremony, a group of Veritan insurgents attempts to assassinate Solane, leading to a chaotic battle in the Council chamber. Captain Davies and the security forces neutralize the attackers, but the event casts a shadow over the proceedings and heightens suspicions against the Veritas. Chapter 9. Following the assassination attempt, humanity begins preparing for possible retaliation from the Veritas. Covertly, Sergeant Marakira and Lieutenant Jonah Jackson undertake a dangerous mission deep within Veritan space. They successfully plant a bomb on a high-ranking Veritan officer's command ship as retribution for the earlier attack on New Terra. Meanwhile, back at the Galactic Council, tensions rise as the Veritas are temporarily suspended from Council activities pending an investigation. The humans solidify their position within the Council, but the specter of conflict looms large. Chapter 10. The fallout from the assassination attempt continues to ripple through the Galactic Council. Ambassador Solane, recovering from his injuries, reflects on the covert operations and the broader implications for interstellar relations. Humanity's influence within the Council grows, but so does the threat of a full-scale war with the Veritas. As tensions mount, both sides prepare for the worst, with the Veritas suspecting human involvement in the destruction of one of their key ships. The stage is set for a potential clash between the two powers. Chapter 11. Amidst the brewing conflict, Solane and the human leadership grapple with the consequences of their actions. The Veritas begin to consolidate their forces, preparing for war, while humanity fortifies its defenses. The successful detonation of the bomb planted by Marakira and Jackson adds another layer of complexity to the situation. Solane is haunted by the realization that their efforts to secure a place in the galaxy have not led to peace but have instead pushed them closer to conflict. The fragile alliance between humans and Veritans deteriorates further as both sides brace for a potential war. Chapter 12. In the aftermath of the ship's destruction, the Veritas grow increasingly suspicious of humanity, with many in their leadership believing that the humans were behind the attack. Varro, once an ally, now sees humanity as a threat, and the Veritans begin mobilizing for war. On New Terra, Solane orders a full military alert, preparing for the worst as the galaxy teeters on the edge of conflict. Both sides are now locked in a dangerous game of brinkmanship, with the potential for a devastating interstellar war hanging in the balance. These chapters chronicle the rapid escalation of tensions between humanity and the Veritas, as both races navigate a complex web of diplomacy, espionage, and military preparations. The initial hope for peaceful reintegration into the Galactic Council quickly gives way to the grim reality of impending war, with both sides preparing for the worst. Humanity's rise within the Council comes at a significant cost, as the delicate balance of power in the galaxy threatens to unravel into chaos. Summary overview of Chapters 13 to 18. Chapter 13. The aftermath of the Veritan ship's destruction leaves Ambassador Solane presenting his condolences, while the Veritans grow increasingly suspicious of human intentions. As tensions rise, the Galactic Council convenes to address the escalating crisis. Solane's diplomatic finesse contrasts sharply with Varro's deepening sense of betrayal and frustration. As the Council debates, the Veritans prepare for a potential war, realizing that humanity may have manipulated them into a corner. The chapter ends with both sides bracing for the inevitable conflict, as the galaxy watches the brewing storm. Chapter 14. Ambassador Varro grapples with the implications of the data revealing that the humans may have been behind the Veritan ship's destruction. The Veritan military gears up for war, rallying their forces in a desperate bid to regain control. Meanwhile, a secret human operation successfully captures a Veritan frigate, further deepening the conflict. In the Galactic Council, Selene delivers a powerful speech, accusing the Veritans of aggression and positioning humanity as the defenders of peace. The chapter ends with the galaxy teetering on the brink of war, as the Veritans face increasing isolation and the humans consolidate their power. Chapter 15. The Galactic Council debates the crisis, leading to a decision to allow human ships to act as peacekeepers in Veritan space. Human forces quickly take strategic positions, tightening their grip on Veritan territory. Meanwhile, a covert operation by the humans escalates the conflict by staging an attack that further incriminates the Veritans. The Veritans, now painted as aggressors, face harsh sanctions and isolation from the Galactic Council. The chapter concludes with the Veritans on the brink of collapse, their reputation shattered as the humans solidify their position of power. Chapter 16. The Veritans, cornered and desperate, launch a surprise attack on a human command ship, marking the first major engagement of the war. The Galactic Council is thrown into disarray as the conflict escalates. Despite the initial shock, the humans quickly rally and retaliate, winning the first battle and gaining the upper hand. The chapter ends with the galaxy facing the grim reality of a full-scale war, as the Veritans and humans prepare for the next phase of the conflict. Chapter 17. War breaks out in full force as the human and Veritan fleets clash in a series of intense battles. The humans, demonstrating superior tactics and technology, steadily push the Veritans back. Despite their pride and determination, the Veritans suffer significant losses. The battle for New Terra becomes the focal point, with the Veritans launching a desperate attack on the human homeworld. However, the humans are prepared, and they successfully defend their planet, dealing a devastating blow to the Veritan fleet. The chapter ends with the humans emerging victorious, but the war is far from over. Chapter 18. In the wake of their crushing defeat, the Veritans are forced to confront the reality of their situation. Ambassador Selene extends an olive branch, calling for negotiations to end the war. The Veritans, recognizing their untenable position, offer an unconditional surrender. The Galactic Council witnesses the fall of the once mighty Veritan Empire and the rise of humanity as a major power in the galaxy. Selene's acceptance of the surrender signals the beginning of a new era, one where humanity is no longer an underdog, but a respected force in the interstellar community. The chapter concludes with the galaxy adjusting to this new balance of power as the lessons of the war echo across the stars. The war between the Veritans and humans has ended with the Veritans' unconditional surrender, marking the rise of humanity as a dominant power in the galaxy. The Galactic Council now faces a new era of interstellar politics, with humanity advocating for peace and mutual respect among all species. As the galaxy adjusts to this shifting balance of power, the future holds the promise of a more united yet cautious interstellar community. Summary overview of Chapters 19 to 24. Chapter 19. In the aftermath of the war, the Galactic Council witnessed the historic drafting of a peace treaty between humanity and the Veritans. Ambassador Selene and Ambassador Varro led the negotiations, resulting in the Treaty of New Terra, which emphasized disarmament, mutual respect, and the integration of both races. However, tensions remained as General Zorvan, a rogue Veritan leader, fled with his loyalists, prompting a galaxy-wide manhunt, while the Council also faced a mysterious cosmic phenomenon that hinted at new challenges ahead. Chapter 20. General Zorvan, a staunch defender of Veritan pride, refuses to accept the Human-Veritan peace treaty, viewing it as a disgrace to his race. Fleeing with loyal commanders and aligning with the disillusioned Orinthians, Zorvan establishes a hidden stronghold from which he begins launching targeted strikes against human borders, reigniting conflict. His rebellion, fueled by a vision of restoring Veritan's supremacy and challenging the Galactic Council's authority, marks the beginning of a new era of unrest in the galaxy, with the Orinthians' departure from the Council signaling a significant shift in the balance of power. Chapter 21. As tensions rise, the joint human-Veritan fleet intensifies their efforts to hunt down the rogue General Zorvan, whose attacks threaten the fragile alliance. Ambassador Solane and Varro, representing their respective races, face mounting pressure to address Zorvan's rebellion, with Solane proposing sanctions against the Orinthians for aiding the renegade general. Meanwhile, a covert mission aboard the stealth ship Phantom brings hope as they close in on Zorvan's potential location, signaling a critical turning point in the pursuit to end his reign of terror. Chapter 22. The Human Stealth Ship. Phantom covertly monitors Zorvan's base in the Zephyra system, gathering crucial intelligence while remaining hidden in hostile territory. Meanwhile, Ambassador Varro navigates dangerous political waters to arrange a secret meeting with Zorvan, hoping to broker peace despite the growing tensions. Simultaneously, Admiral Kira successfully ambushes and captures a Veritan cruiser linked to Zorvan's fleet, marking a significant victory in the ongoing effort to thwart his rebellion, but aware that the larger conflict is far from over. Chapter 23. Following the capture of a Veritan cruiser, Admiral Kira and her crew begin extracting crucial intelligence, marking a significant victory against Zorvan's forces. Ambassador Varro, navigating a delicate path between loyalty and diplomacy, secures a tentative meeting with Zorvan, hoping to persuade the general to consider peace. Meanwhile, Ambassador Solane, while grappling with the mysterious dimming of stars across the galaxy, prepares the Galactic Council for potential negotiations, recognizing that the outcome of Varro's mission could determine the fate of both the Veritans and the entire galaxy. Chapter 24. The Galactic Council, alarmed by the mysterious darkening of stars, commissions the Icarus to investigate, only to receive a distress signal revealing the presence of the powerful and ancient Drac Dominion. As the Council grapples with this new threat, Admiral Kira's successful capture of a Veritan cruiser intensifies pressure on Ambassador Varro to negotiate peace with the rebellious General Zorvan. Realizing the severity of the Drac threat, Zorvan unexpectedly proposes a truce with the Council, offering to unite forces against the Drac Dominion in exchange for amnesty, marking a potential turning point in the conflict. Summary overview of chapters 25 to 30. Chapter 25. Varro, grappling with his conflicting loyalties, meets with Zorvan, who reveals the extent of his rebel forces and proposes an alliance with the Galactic Council to combat the looming Drac Dominion threat. Zorvan offers his powerful fleet in exchange for amnesty for himself and his followers. Despite the audacity of this request, Varro relays the proposal to Solane, who, after much contemplation, agrees to consider the alliance, recognizing the dire need for unity against the formidable Drac forces. The chapter ends with Solane preparing for a pivotal meeting with Zorvan, hoping to forge an alliance that could be the galaxy's best chance for survival. In Chapter 26, Varro informs Solane of an upcoming meeting with Zorvan, revealing the impressive size of Zorvan's fleet, which now numbers over 100 ships. As the Galactic Council prepares for the impending Drac threat, the strategic importance of Zorvan's forces becomes clear, despite the unease it causes among the Council members. Meanwhile, a reconnaissance mission is launched with human stealth ships venturing deep into Drac territory to gather critical intel. As Solane meets with Zorvan on the neutral moonbase of Triax, the two leaders, despite their strained history, agree to a tentative alliance. Zorvan will command his fleet independently while Solane promises to seek amnesty for Zorvan and his forces, marking a fragile but crucial unity against the Drac Dominion. In Chapter 27, the stealth ships continue their perilous journey deep into Drac territory, uncovering a series of devastated and subjugated worlds. Lieutenant Mira and Ensign Garo encounter a mysterious vessel that destroys a Drac ship, offering a glimmer of hope that resistance against the Drac is possible. Meanwhile, aboard the Sentinel, Lieutenant Jackson and Ensign Ray return early with dire revelations. They have discovered the Drac's devastating star-killer weapon. The importance of their intelligence is immediately recognized, and Captain Carter prepares to relay the critical information to the Galactic Council, understanding that it could change the course of the war. As the Sentinel embarks on its urgent mission to inform the Council, the Daedalus remains on guard, awaiting further news from the remaining stealth ships. In Chapter 28, Mira and Garo navigate the treacherous Helian cluster, following a mysterious ship to a hidden base within a massive asteroid. Upon arrival, they are ensnared by a force field, but are soon invited to dock by the Helian Collective. They meet Silrex, the Collective's leader, and plead for an alliance against the Drac. While the Collective deliberates, Mira and Garo are approached by Illyra, a Helian ambassador, signaling the beginning of delicate negotiations. Meanwhile, Captain Carter presents the Council with evidence of the Drac's Starkiller weapon, prompting a heated debate. The Council ultimately decides to prepare for war while seeking potential diplomatic avenues. Elsewhere, the third stealth ship, piloted by Lieutenants Rice and Lyra, discovers a Drac fleet hiding behind a planet's moon. They are ambushed, captured by a Drac warship, and manage to send a desperate distress signal to the Daedalus before being taken prisoner. The chapter ends with the crew of the Daedalus anxiously awaiting contact, unaware of their comrades' dire fate. In Chapter 29, the Daedalus receives a distressing, garbled transmission from Lyra, indicating that she and Reese have fallen into a Drac trap. Commander Ilias, aware of the danger in Drac territory, decides to wait for Mira and Garo's return before taking action, leaving Reese and Lyra to face their dire circumstances alone. Reese and Lyra, now prisoners aboard a Drac ship, find themselves in a grim situation. Reese is tortured by a Drac officer, General Skarn, who forces him to reveal critical Federation information. Lyra, isolated and determined, silently vows to fight back as she clutches a makeshift weapon. Meanwhile, Mira and Garo discover the Helian Collective, an ancient and advanced civilization that had previously watched the Federation from afar. Illyra, a Helian ambassador, explains the Drac's method of assimilating conquered species and expresses the Collective's interest in allying with the Federation against the Drac. After deliberation, the Helian Council agrees to the alliance, with Illyra chosen as the emissary to accompany Mira and Garo back to the Federation. As hope begins to blossom with this new alliance, the chapter ends on a somber note with Reese confessing to Lyra that he broke under torture, revealing crucial Federation secrets to the Drac. Lyra, heartbroken but resolute, vows to protect him and find a way out, even as the stakes grow ever higher. Chapter 30. Mira, Garo, and Helian ambassador Illyra return to the Daedalus after forming an alliance with the Helian Collective. On their way, Illyra detects and destroys a Drac stealth tracker, showcasing the advanced Helian technology. Once aboard the Daedalus, Illyra shares vital intelligence about the Drac's tactics, including their use of stealth drones for espionage. Commander Ilias informs Mira and Garo that their comrades, Reese and Lyra, have been captured by the Drac. Despite this, the new alliance brings hope, and Ilias communicates the development to Admiral Aaron, who sees it as a potential turning point in their war against the Drac. The chapter ends with the Daedalus heading to the Galactic Council, bolstered by the promise of a stronger united front against the Drac threat. Summary overview of Chapters 31 to 35. Chapter 31. The Daedalus arrives at the Galactic Council, where Commander Ilias, Mira, Garo, and Helian Ambassador Illyra prepare to present their new alliance and intelligence to the Council. Illyra offers advanced Helian technology to detect Drac drones and proposes integrating this tech into Federation ships. The Council debates and ultimately agrees to a provisional alliance with the Helian Collective. Meanwhile, Commander Ilias informs General Zorvan of the new alliance and grants amnesty to Zorvan's forces. They devise the Wolfpack plan, where Zorvan's fleet, equipped with Helian technology, will hunt Drac drones using guerrilla tactics. As the Federation prepares for this new strategy, 5 massive Drac ships silently advance towards the vulnerable planet Orinthia, threatening the Federation with an impending attack. Chapter 32. Reese and Lyra find themselves in a massive Drac prison filled with various alien races. They meet Terran, a historian-like figure who shares stories of resistance against the Drac. The group, including a former prince named Arlon and a winged alien, Lithia, plans an escape with the help of Draven, a guard who is secretly Arlon's brother. They intend to use their stealth ship to escape and spark a larger rebellion. Meanwhile, on the other side of the galaxy, Captain Hale tests the Helian gravimetric sensor on the Vigilant. The sensor successfully detects Drak drones, leading to a tense but successful battle where the Federation ships, including Zorvan's vessel, destroy all the detected drones. The successful test marks the beginning of the Federation's ability to counter the Drak's hidden threats. Chapter 33. In this chapter, the Federation's space dock, Alpha Nexus, is bustling with activity as engineers and technicians equip General Zorvan's fleet with advanced gravimetric sensors, thanks to Helian technology. Zorvan and his team are eager to use this new technology to detect and counter the Drak's hidden drones. Meanwhile, Elira leads a convoy of Federation ships toward the Helian Collective, successfully navigating through space with the help of these sensors, and even intercepting a Drak drone. Back at the Federation's command center, Ambassador Selene discusses a grand vision of unity with Elira. They envision a future where the Federation and the Helian Collective work closely together, sharing technology and knowledge to defeat common enemies like the Drak. However, the chapter takes a tense turn when the Federation receives a distress signal from Orinthia, a critical outpost on the edge of Federation space. Drak ships are preparing to invade, and the nearest fleet is too far to help in time. General Zorvan, who is closer, is immediately dispatched to defend Orinthia, setting the stage for a high-stakes confrontation with the Drak. Chapter 34. In this intense chapter, General Zorvan's fleet arrives at Orinthia, where they confront a devastating Drak assault. Despite their best efforts to protect the planet and its fleeing civilians, the overwhelming power of the Drak forces takes a toll, resulting in the loss of Federation ships and many civilian lives. Zorvan, recognizing the dire situation, orders a strategic retreat to regroup with the main Federation fleet, setting the stage for a larger confrontation. Meanwhile, aboard a Drak behemoth, Rhys, Lyra, and their allies, Arlon and Lithia, execute a daring escape plan. With the help of Draven, a sympathetic Drak guard, they ignite chaos within the ship and make a desperate dash to reach their stealth ship in the hangar. After a fierce battle and some sacrifices, they successfully launch the ship and evade pursuing Drak interceptors by making a jump to FTL. The chapter concludes with the Federation forces regrouping and the escapees on the run, both preparing for the challenges that lie ahead in the ongoing war against the Drak. Chapter 35. In this chapter, General Zorvan's Federation fleet clashes with the Drak forces led by Supreme Commander Carvon during the battle for Orinthia. Zorvan launches a precise attack on a Drak behemoth, briefly gaining the upper hand. However, Carvon quickly adapts, redirecting his fleet and ordering the destruction of fleeing civilian ships to demoralize the Federation. The Federation is forced to retreat, and Carvon, though victorious, recognizes the threat posed by Zorvan's strategic skill and emotional resilience. He realizes that the Drak must adapt to maintain their dominance, setting the stage for future battles. Summary overview of chapters 36 to 40. Chapter 36. The Federation fleet, led by Captain Jorvis aboard the Star Strider, arrives at the Helian shipyards orbiting the Blue Sun, Lyrian Prime. Elira, the Helian ambassador, introduces the Federation captains to advanced Helian battlecruisers and technology that will significantly enhance their ship's capabilities. As the upgrades begin, a high-priority message informs Jorvis that Zorvan's fleet suffered heavy losses at Orinthia, but reinforcements and advanced technology from the Helians offer hope. Meanwhile, aboard a stealth ship in Drak territory, Rhys, Lyra, Prince Arlon, and Lithia debate their next move, ultimately deciding to seek out Arlon's rebel allies before returning to the Federation with greater strength. Chapter 37. Zorvan's battle-worn ships rejoin the Eighth Fleet, where he receives a hero's welcome. In a strategy meeting with the fleet's captains and Admiral Krell, Zorvan shares insights from his recent battle with the Drak and outlines a plan to exploit a potential weakness in their weapon systems. However, the fleet learns that critical reinforcements and upgrades from the Helian allies are still days away. Despite this, Zorvan rallies the fleet, emphasizing their unity and determination. As they finalize their plans, an urgent alert reveals that 4 Drak vessels are en route to Aurelian Prime, expected to arrive in 12 hours. Zorvan quickly orders the fleet to prepare for battle, emphasizing the importance of a swift and coordinated response. As the fleet prepares to engage, The Helian battlecruisers begin their journey to join the fight, setting the stage for an epic confrontation that will decide the fate of Aurelian Prime and potentially the entire galaxy. Chapter 38. General Zorvan leads the Federation fleet in a high-stakes battle against the Drak behemoths near Orinthia. After a tense buildup, they successfully destroy one behemoth with a coordinated attack, but face heavy retaliation. Using an EMP charge, they disable and destroy another behemoth, but a third escapes, carrying critical information. Despite the victory, the fleet knows tougher battles lie ahead. Meanwhile, Prince Arlen's stealth ship locates a hidden rebel base in the Viserion Nebula, strengthening the resistance against the Drak. Chapter 39. Prince Arlon reunites with his brother, Prince Davin, at a bustling rebel base, sharing harrowing tales of their escape from the Drak. The two brothers discuss the possibility of forming an alliance with the Federation, represented by Lyra and Rice, who have brought hope and a potential partnership against the Drak threat. During a tense council meeting, the rebels debate the risks and benefits of aligning with the distant Federation. Ultimately, they agree to the alliance, and Lyra sends an encrypted message to the Federation detailing their situation and seeking support. Meanwhile, Ambassador Solane, awakened by the urgent transmission, quickly assembles the Federation War Council. After hearing Lyra's message, the Council agrees to establish covert communications with the rebels and prepare a joint task force, viewing the alliance as a critical opportunity to stand against the Drak. Chapter 40. Ambassador Solane presents a bold strategy to the Federation War Council, proposing a swift alliance with the rebel forces led by Prince Arlon. The plan involves dispatching 3 advanced cruisers carrying supplies, fighters, and technology to a neutral rendezvous point, symbolizing the Federation's commitment to the alliance. The Council debates the risks, but ultimately agrees, recognizing the strategic advantage and hope this alliance offers against the Drak. A detailed message outlining the plan is transmitted to Lyra and the rebels, marking a significant step toward uniting against the Drak threat. Meanwhile, the Federation reviews its internal situation, acknowledging the losses at Orinthia, but also planning for upcoming reinforcements and enhanced intelligence capabilities. On the Drak side, Carvon convenes a council of commanders to discuss the unexpected resistance faced at Orinthia. The Drak realize they must adapt their strategies in the face of a cunning adversary like General Zorvan. They resolve to analyze the battle, understand the Federation's tactics, and prepare for future confrontations with renewed determination. Summary overview of Chapter 41 to 45. In Chapter 41, the Federation anxiously awaits the Rebel Alliance's response to their proposed alliance. Captain Jorvis reports significant technological advancements from the Helian collaboration, boosting the Federation's hopes. The Rebel Council, led by Prince Arlon, unanimously agrees to join forces with the Federation, seeing it as crucial in their fight against the Drak. Preparations for a rendezvous begin immediately. Meanwhile, the Drak learn of this alliance through their spy network, with Zelian vowing to disrupt the growing threat to their dominion. The stage is set for an imminent confrontation. In Chapter 42, Commander Carvon of the Drak Dominion assesses the situation following the recent setbacks in their battle with the Federation. He identifies troubling gaps in their intelligence network, likely due to Helian interference, signaling a growing threat from the Federation Rebel Alliance. Upon learning of this alliance from a covert informant, Carvon orders a massive deployment of Drak behemoths to crush the rebels before their strength grows. Additionally, he identifies a weakly defended Federation planet as a new strategic target, aiming to establish a forward base for future offensives. Carvon's plans reflect his relentless ambition and adaptability as he prepares for the next phase of the galactic conflict. Chapter 43. The Federation and Rebel forces officially unite against the Drak. Ambassador Solane announces that the rebels have accepted the alliance, and 3 human battlecruisers, carrying supplies and advanced fighters, begin their journey to join the rebel fleet. Commander Ilara Vance emphasizes the strength of human strategy and technology in the upcoming battles. At the rebel base, Prince Arlon, Lyra, and Rice prepare for the rendezvous, while Prince Davin secretly places a mysterious device. The rebel fleet launches into FTL, ready to face the Drak with their new allies. Meanwhile, in the Drac Command Center, Carvon unveils new strategies and defenses to counter the Federation's tactics and orders 15 behemoths to secure a key Federation planet and destroy the rebel base, showcasing the Drac's ruthless ambition. Chapter 44. The rebel base, hidden in the vastness of space, faces an imminent threat as 2 Drac behemoths approach undetected due to sabotage. Lieutenant Varys spots the danger and alerts the base, but the Drac assault begins with devastating efficiency. General Arcos, realizing the gravity of the situation, orders an evacuation while trying to manage the desperate defense. Despite the rebels' efforts, the Drac behemoths overwhelm their defenses, leading to the base's destruction. The last communication from General Arcos warns of a traitor within their ranks before the base is obliterated. The Drac, satisfied with their ruthless victory, retreat, leaving only debris and silence in their wake. Chapter 45. As the rebel battlecruiser navigates space, Prince Arlon, Davin, Lyra, and Rice reminisce about their narrow escape from the rebel base, only to receive a distress signal from Alpha Point, signaling a Drac siege. Despite Arlon's emotional impulse to return, Lyra and Rice urge caution, understanding the strategic implications. They decide to continue their journey while grappling with the dire news. Meanwhile, aboard the Federation cruiser the Argus, Commander Alara Vance and her crew received the same distress signal from Alpha Point. Realizing the strategic importance of this development, Vance orders her engineers to push the ship's engines to their limits, aiming to reach the rendezvous point with the rebel fleet ahead of schedule. The urgency to unite and prepare for the Drac threat grows stronger. In Orinthia, General Zorvan leads a strategy session with the 8th Fleet, aware that the Drac are adapting to the Federation's tactics. Zorvan and his team discuss innovations like microshielding and miniaturization of EMP devices, alongside deploying decoy drones to mislead Drac forces. The 8th Fleet's next mission is to defend a strategically crucial but lightly defended planet, Akiria, which the Drac might target next. Zorvan orders the fleet to engage their FTL drives, racing towards Akiria, where the next critical battle may unfold. Summary overview of Chapter 46 to 49. Chapter 46. The 8th Fleet, led by General Zorvan, arrives at the mysterious planet Akiria and begins preparations for a strategic defense. While Zorvan orders the deployment of survey teams to explore the planet's ancient ruins, they also establish a defensive perimeter with satellites and communication arrays, wary of potential Drac threats. Meanwhile, Helian ships, using advanced stealth technology, secretly observe the Rebel and Federation fleets. Despite their alliance with the Federation, the Helians gather intelligence on the Rebels, uncertain of their true intentions. In another part of space, Commander Vance of the Federation's battlecruiser, the Argus, establishes communication with Prince Arlon, leader of the rebel forces. They agree to unite their fleets at Omega Base to plan a major counterattack against the Drac. As the fleets maneuver toward their rendezvous, the Helians continue their covert surveillance, conflicted about whether to reveal themselves or remain hidden. The chapter sets the stage for an impending alliance and the strategic battles that will follow, while the Helians grapple with the moral and political implications of their espionage. In Chapter 47, the Argus detects a cloaked Helian ship shadowing the fleet. Commander Vance skillfully uncovers the ship using an EMP pulse, revealing that the Helians were spying due to doubts about the Rebel Federation alliance. The Helian crew is taken into custody, and Vance instructs Prince Arlon to proceed with the mission while the situation is handled. Meanwhile, a Federation survey team on Akiria uncovers ancient ruins that reveal the Drac were once part of a peaceful alliance called the Stellar Accord, a discovery that could change the course of their conflict. As the Federation and Helian fleets unite at Akiria, General Zorvan consults with Ambassador Solane, who advises sending the newly discovered data crystals to the Federation's Galactic Library for further analysis. During a banquet, Captain Draylen shares the Helian history of struggle against the Drac, emphasizing the significance of the Stellar Accord. The gathering strengthens the bond between the Federation and Helians, solidifying their united front against the Drac as they prepare for the challenges ahead. In Chapter 48, Captain Jorvis, overseeing the Federation fleet's upgrades at the Helian shipyards, receives orders from Ambassador Solane to head to Orinthia, a critical location recently defended against the Drac. The conversation underscores the strategic importance of fortifying Orinthia and the significance of the Helian alliance in bolstering Federation defenses. Meanwhile, a Helian ship detects an isolated Drac behemoth trailing behind a larger fleet, leading to a joint strike mission with Federation forces. General Zorvan and Captain Hale join the Helians in an intense battle against the behemoth, which unveils new Drac technology. The Federation's use of miniaturized EMP drones turns the tide, resulting in the behemoth's destruction, but the battle leaves the Allies wary of the evolving Drac threat as they return to regroup with the 8th Fleet. In Part 49, the combined fleet of Federation and Rebel Alliance ships, led by Commander Vance and Prince Arlon, makes its way toward Omega Base, the last stronghold of the Rebels. As they approach, Arlon shares his guilt over leaving Alpha Point before its destruction and expresses concerns about a potential traitor within their ranks. Meanwhile, Commander Vance grapples with the presence of captured Helians, deciding to involve them in the unfolding alliance to gain their trust. The fleet is guided by Rebel ships to Omega Base, a massive stronghold teeming with Rebel forces, as Vance emphasizes the significance of their unity to the Helian commander Ceylon. Simultaneously, Dr. Kenson and Dr. Malik journey to the Federation's galactic library with ancient data crystals that may reveal forgotten history about the Drac and the mysterious Stellar Accord. Ambassador Solane supports their cautious approach, arranging exclusive access to the library and expert assistance to safely extract the data. As they near their destination, the weight of potentially uncovering critical historical knowledge that could influence the ongoing conflict with the Drac looms over the two scientists. Now the overview is complete. The story continues with Part 50 available now on our YouTube channel. We hope you enjoy the continuation of the story.